And here's the trifecta setup. These are the 3 camera and lens settings that are the essentials for a good shot, on top of white balance. ISO, this is the light sensitivity of your camera. The higher the ISO, the higher the sensitivity to light, so the brighter your image. You will be able to shoot at faster shutter speeds and smaller apertures, but with higher ISO level, you will also see significant amounts of increases in grain in your video footage. Now, for shutter angle, it should be at 180 degrees for the whole time. But let's say you have a DSLR camera and you don't have shutter angle, you wanna double your frame rate with your shutter speed. So if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, the shutter speed should be 1/48th or 1/50th, depending on your camera. At 30 frames per second, 1/60th, and at 60 frames per second, 1/20th. Now, this makes sure that your footage is optimized and is captured correctly. Okay, aperture and f-stop. So this also depends on your lens. Now, some lenses are fast, like we talked about before. It can go as low as f1.2, which is great for low light, though it has a tiny area in focus and shallow depth in field. These are usually prime lenses. And also depends on your focal length as well. If you have a wide lens, usually a lot of things are in focus. If you have a macro lens and you have a fast lens, less things are in focus. Okay, the best aperture for your lens should be 2 to 3 f-stops from the widest aperture. So if your lens's widest aperture is f4, then the best, sharpest setting would be f8 or f11. And for a zoom lens that its widest is f2.8, then it has a sweet spot between f5.6 and to f8.